We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Well,
We're back.
we are back.
I am back.
Well, I'm back too.
Where'd you go?
Pennsylvania, the Keystone State.
Yeah, I was trying to think. We hadn't talked. We both left or the vicinity of our homes. Although, well, anyhow, before I wrap it up, that's why how nuclear fusion works.
Yeah, I'm glad we covered that because I just had Mexican.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You
I had
make
street
heat.
corn.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got a great picture to send you too for the vid.
Was
Street corn.
Was it after the chewing or before the chewing?
This I don't know. This one was. I'm on a quest, and I'm on a dip quest too. So I got the Mexican dip today from the store.
That's not a nice name.
You know what they call Mexican baptism, right?
A Mexican dip.
Bean dip.
Jeez.
You know where I learned that?
No. At
Pueblo,
church?
Colorado.
Oh, really? You remember the joke from all those years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah. Well, I was playing football and these guys went to church. We were all going to church and they said, "Hey, Theus, you know what they call a Mexican baptism?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." They said, "A bean dip."
Wow. Good for them. I like that.
Yeah.
Self-deprecation. It's a great form of humor.
Well, that guy was Italian. So,
Oh, was he?
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so now we've got a little bit of the bigotry out of the way.
Yeah, get right into the usual stuff right away. I'll have our listeners know that, yeah, while Dave was traveling, he literally came within a quarter
500 yards.
mile of me
Well,
and it wouldn't even slow down.
that's not true. There was a traffic jam right there.
There always is on that piece because it goes down from like 5 lanes to 3.
So let's give a little story. I'm traveling up, what is it, I-77?
At that point, yes.
Yeah, I-77. We've just come from the North Carolina State Welcome
Center.
bathroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Actually, not bad.
Yeah, you know what? North Carolina rest stops are phenomenal. They're
Yeah.
all clean. They're manned or womaned, however you want to put it. And so there's always someone there. And usually I say hello.
Well, we stopped in to make the proverbial deposit, and
Did you? You pay your toll on the
paid
way
the
in?
fee, the user fee, as we say. And I said, I better text Woody and tell him I'm on my way because I got to be pretty close.
Yeah.
And so you told me the street, and it was like right down the road.
Yeah, like 3 exits in. Yep.
Yeah. So he says honk. And so Sheila's
If
like,
I was outside, I probably could have heard it.
well, I was hoping because I couldn't tell if you were in that building that was right up against the road. But
No, I wasn't in that one. I can't see the highway from where I am.
Well, the honking was useless.
No, I think I would have heard it.
But well, you didn't. But the people next to me were a little bit peeved because I didn't just give it a toot toot. I laid on it for about 100 yards.
Why would someone next to you be upset?
Well, they're all
If they
looking at
were
me
in
like,
front of you, yeah, I could get
I
it.
mean, they were like, "What the hell is this guy honking at?" I mean, I was beep 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 beep.
You should have played like you just passed out and just put your forehead on the steering wheel.
They're swerving all over the road.
And Sheila would be sitting there reading a book the whole time.
Well, they got a charge out of it. The people in Charlotte are like, and I had Florida plates too, so it was like, yeah, well, what's with those guys?
You fit the bill. You had the old man eyeglasses on, I'm sure.
Yeah, my shorts and my New Balance white sneakers with the height of the white socks.
Now, I saw a picture of you at the smallest church in America. Was that during your trip?
Yeah, so on the way home, well, let's you want to come back to that?
Sure.
Yeah, we
You
always
got somewhere to go?
No, I'm just saying this. That's at the end of the trip. We only hear about your trip too. But we always try to take in some fun roadside artifacts, and we found a couple on the way back. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so the ride up to, I guess I'm going first, Pennsylvania. My youngest daughter graduated from from college in a little stinkerdoodle. She went up there. She's a golfer, so she has
Yeah.
a 4-year Letterman golfing with a sports management degree. And turns out, I'm looking at the program. I'm like, Sheila, her name's listed twice in here. This little turd's got 2 degrees, and so
Oh.
she did a little counseling and overlapping of classes and got a marketing degree and sports management. And then of course she's going to go back for for her master's degree in business administration. So she'll have an MBA with a marketing background. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
so we're
exciting.
excited. It was that part of the country, it was beautiful. First of all, it's cool. We stayed with my in-laws, not my in-laws, my wife's sister and brother-in-law.
Well,
And
those are in-laws.
my in-laws, I guess they're not
Yeah.
my in-laws.
Yeah, they are.
My wife's sister and her brother-in-law.
Right, which is your sister-in-law.
Yeah, I get confused about that. But
All right.
anyway, so we
We'll get
stayed
back
with
to that.
them. Yeah, we stayed with them up at their lovely home. And if any by chance they happen to listen, what an outstanding gift of hospitality they have. They were gracious with their time in their home. And they've got these beautiful dogs. They got a Springer Spaniel, which is kind of in my wife's family. I think her grandfather raised Springers from the old country. And then I've never seen one up close, but they have I can't remember the name of it. It's not a Springer Spaniel, but it's a something Spaniel. Not a Cocker Spaniel.
Springer.
No, damn it. It's a field dog, and it's all liver colored. It's a Spaniel, but it's not a Cocker Spaniel. If you didn't know what it was, you'd look at it and go, "Oh, that's a Springer Spaniel." But Springer Spaniels are either black and white or liver and white, and this one's totally liver.
What
I'll
color
look
is
it up.
liver, Dave? Yeah, you're gonna have to
It's
fill me in
brown.
there.
It's a little hooty tooty.
When I get liver as a dish, it's not
Field
brown.
Spaniel. Picture of a Field Spaniel. It is a Field Spaniel.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful dog. It kind of reminded me of a Irish. What's the dog I say is the dumbest dog to have? Irish setter.
Yeah.
But it's like a really small Irish setter. But it's not dumb. Very smart dog.
Okay.
So anyway, they had 2 beautiful dogs, a lovely home up in.
Did it bury its nose in your crotch
It did.
on arrival? All right. Yep.
Like, I like this guy. He smells kind of gamey, shall we say. Yeah, both of them are like, okay,
he
that's cold.
stopped at the North Carolina restaurant.
Yeah, that's kind of
Rest
cold.
stop,
There,
excuse me,
Spot.
not a restaurant.
What were their names? It was wow. Pat Kelly's weighing in.
He doesn't know the names of your in-laws' dogs. You
Hi,
could have
Pat.
made up enough rough and scruff.
It's not though. They're fun names. Hudson. Hudson is the Springer.
As in Hudson Bay.
Sure.
You
I don't
didn't
know
ask the origin of their names?
They call it Huddy, but I
Okay.
went with Hudson because
All right, wait a
just
second.
met the dog.
Let's back up here. If you're going to give your pet a name, why then call him a nickname?
Look, I don't get into all that. It was a little confusing.
Doesn't that? Yeah, it's just call him the nickname. It's a pet.
Okay. I should have done a little show prep. I was busy
Yeah,
doing
maybe.
something else. Hudson and anyway, well, I'm gonna
San
ask my
Francisco.
daughter. Yeah, something like that. Hudson. Anyway, so lovely dogs. They're beautiful. In fact, well, I don't want to get into the story about the one how got injured, but it's fine.
You injured the dog.
Well, they got the Field Spaniel, and then in Pittsburgh, they live up in a place called Fox Chapel. It's on top of this hill. It's beautiful. And
Right.
so the hill, it's a hill. And so their house is sitting on a flat spot, but their backyard basically is a second-story deck.
Mhm.
And then the backyard kind of tapers off. And so this puppy decided to chase a ball off the second-story deck and
Nice.
landed, let's see, 10, 12, probably 12, 15 feet off the ground and broke its both back legs. You know,
And you threw the ball?
No. I wasn't there.
Oh! I thought this happened when we
No,
were
no, gosh, that would
there.
have been horrific. And so it's like 2 years ago. And so
Oh,
most people would have probably
yeah,
um
put them down.
they'd have put him down, but they didn't. And I said, how are you able to, manage? Because they're like a horse, you move around and stuff. And there was this weird harness system, and they had to have surgery and put plates and bars and stuff. And I think it cost about 10 grand.
Ugh.
So I was said we could have bought a couple extra dogs for that. But anyway, the dog's amazing. He jumps and runs all over the place. They try to keep him off the back deck apparently, but
Yeah, that'd be wise.
yeah. So they were very gracious with their home and their time and their treasure, and I just wanted to say thank you to them again. And then of course, Sarah got to meet all of her chums and her professors. That was cool meeting her professors, and they were just there's nothing better for a dad. And you probably went through this in London with your daughter and the recent in Appalachian State, but there's nothing better to hear from, professors and peers how great your child is,
Yeah,
and then just slip them a couple bucks.
yeah, exactly. I mean, not like we didn't give them enough money to begin with, but
Yeah,
was your
I don't
daughter
think
on scholarship?
she got a little something. It's a Division III school, so there's not truly a quote unquote scholarship, but it's out of state, it's private, so we got a little bit of a break.
Oh, that's very nice. I had a pet incident myself that I forgot about until you just mentioned that during my vacation. So,
Yeah, what happened?
well, we had someone watching the dog, one of my son's friends, who's done it before and does a fine job at everything. He texts my wife. She got, she's not a big dog. She's a corgi, little legs, probably all of maybe a foot and a half tall
Yeah.
in total. So she somehow got up onto the kitchen table and found I don't know, nowadays they put, like Chiclets gum is in like a plastic container, like a
Yeah.
jar. Yeah, she chewed that open and bit into one of the pieces of gum.
Hmm.
So he texted her with that. Well, it turns out, just like anything in life, it's very poisonous to dogs. Gum is.
Huh.
There's some chemical in there. I'm not going to even begin to try and remember what the name of that is. But so we're like, we didn't think she ate any because she's a glutton. And if she really liked the gum, we think she would have ate every little piece. But I only found one piece with like a tooth mark in it.
Huh.
So it was Sunday night, and we're like, well, take her to the emergency vet. And so they do, and the vet's like, they draw blood. And so I guess it was Sunday morning, I guess, because we were still up. It wasn't like it was outrageously late or anything. Long story short, they're like, okay, so this guy, the mom went with the son and took him there and everything. And she calls and says, I'll just let you talk to the vet. And the vet's like, okay, well, we took blood samples. We don't see, there's nothing in there that would indicate it. But to be safe, we got her on an IV. We'll keep her overnight. And we'll monitor her for 48 hours and we'll draw blood every, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours or anything like that. And I'm like, that'd be great. That way the kid doesn't have to worry about watching the dog or,
Right.
or anything, being worried that it's going to die on his watch. And I said, that's fine and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll email you an invoice and just okay it. Cause they give you my wife opens into a voice. She goes, $5,000.
Are you serious?
Yes, $5,000 they wanted for that. And I always tease my wife. I said, if it's over three, we're putting the dog down. Let it wait.
300. Yeah.
So I didn't say a word, of course, at this point. I'm just like, what? 5,000. So she calls the vet back and she's like, no, I can't, this is ridiculous. She goes, I love my dog, but not for, I'll do anything, but they're like, well, yeah, we're kind of, a little pricier. So we worked out a deal where the boy that was watching the dog came back the next morning and took her to our vet's office where they monitored for the day. And it was like, I don't know, $300 there. And then brought it, but it's still, all in all, probably cost me $3,000 for the little, maybe I ate some gum
I would have
thing.
been like, well, if she passes it in the backyard, and we'll know she's fine.
Well, if I were home, I would have been okay with that. But the fact is, some friends were watching them were like, I don't want to put the onus on them to
No, I know.
monitor my
right.
dog's life. But yeah, I forgot all about that, thankfully, until you reminded me of a dog
Well-
energy. So that was one exciting moment during our stay, and that was the worst of anything that happened during the time, or the only thing bad that happened, I should say.
Well, let's set this up for our listeners. But by the way, we've had a couple of our listeners inquire, like, "Hey, how's the podcast? What's going on?" I noticed I didn't put an episode up.
Yeah.
There's not an episode up, and are you guys going back in the studio because we're missing it? And I'm like, wow, I feel pretty good about that. So
Yeah, good.
we are excited to be back. And in case you've missed this, Woody took a trip to London, and I was telling someone the other night about this via, excuse me, Charlotte to Reykjavik, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, Raleigh to Reykjavik.
Raleigh.
We drove the Raleigh, took a flight overnight to Reykjavik, changed planes there, which was quite chilly. Because they make you walk on the tarmac there. All their planes are pretty much parked out on the tarmac, and then you get on a bus just outside the plane.
So
and ride.
wait a minute. So the reason you did this is because there's a deal. It's kind of like going to a bigger city. So
Right.
I wonder if they read your ticket and go, look, they're not staying over. They're going on to London. So put them on the tarmac
and leave them out there. Yeah, that's their big thing. You can fly through Reykjavik and take a 2-day layover if you want, and it doesn't cost any extra money. They don't charge you for 2 flights. It's still considered one continuous flight. So that's the idea, is that they get a little bit of extra tourism into Reykjavik. And for us, it probably saved us, because 4 of us were flying there and back. Probably saved us about $5,000 than flying direct from Charlotte or through New York or something like that. So that's why we drove to Raleigh, flew overnight to Reykjavik, got on another plane and flew down to London. And we were there by noon the next day. So it wasn't terrible, quite enjoyable. I slept a little bit, at least, because, then we get to London at noonish, and we don't want to go to bed till 8 o'clock or so that night. So we met my daughter and her roommate, came by, met us for lunch, late lunch. And then we toured one of the museums there, not the natural history, I forget which one, Science Museum. We went to that, and the Royal Museum as well. And we walked by, what's the palace? Buckingham? Not Buckingham.
Buckingham?
Is that the main one? Buckingham?
The big one's Buckingham.
Yeah, we walked by there. I'll send you a picture of Evan squeezing a duck's head at James
the killing
Park.
field.
Yes, of James Park. Of course, they're like, Dad, we've heard this story like 100 times.
This guy's a legend.
Yes. There are pictures on a tree there. Unfortunately, it says wanted. Yeah, it says wanted, but it's there nonetheless.
Do you know this duck killer?
So that was our first day in London, but
that's pretty busy.
Yeah, it was.
So where did you stay? What part of town?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Paddington? No. Where's near your daughter?
Last time we stayed at Clapham Junction. This time we were on the other side, over near where the Royal Albert Hall is, in that area. I don't know what it's called though.
Earl's Court?
Oh, actually, you're dead on.
Yeah. I lived there for a while.
That was the subway station we would get on every day.
Did you take the stairwell down or the escalator?
Well, yes, both.
Earl's Court is like deep. Did you?
Oh, I didn't find it that bad. Not compared. Have you been on the metro in DC?
Yeah,
Good
but I mean,
Lord, that's got escalators you can't even see the bottom on when you get on.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Earl's Court. Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the exact area we stayed in. Had a very nice Airbnb we stayed in there. So we were there from Saturday to till Wednesday of that week. And then we hopped on a Ryanair flight for $50 from Gatway. Is it Gatway or
Gatwick.
Gatwick over to Shannon Airport, which is near Galway
Okay.
in Ireland.
Okay.
So we started there, and Eric got to drive on the wrong side of the road for the first time in his life.
Cool.
It is, you have to, the only way I can describe it is you have to rid yourself of all your instinctual driving.
Yeah.
Because you just, when you make a turn, you're just like, luckily Shannon Airport is fairly small, so leaving it, I wasn't immediately thrown into city traffic like you would be in Dublin or something like that. And I came to the first roundabout, and you go backwards on the roundabout for one, and I tried to turn. When I went left, I tried to go to the right lane,
Yeah. Yeah.
and luckily there was like an island there blocking me, and I'm like, what? How? Oh yeah. I go, I stayed to the left. The hardest part, and I couldn't figure out why this is the case, and people warned me about it, is you are constantly too close to everything on the left side of the car.
Yeah.
But why? You
So,
drive
so first of all, your left turn at home is crossing traffic,
traffic, right?
and your right turn is the hug.
Hmm.
Where there, the left turn is the hug, and the right
Right.
turn is crossing traffic. And so we're not aware of it, but as we drive, if you sit in our passenger seat, the most passengers will say, "Man, you're about ready to hit the curb. You're about ready to hit the curb," because the I don't know if it's an illusion, but the perspective of you sitting in a passenger seat in the States,
Yeah, and we're left-hand drive,
and you're
so
sitting right on the edge of the road, and so um,
but you don't hit the curb. But when you drive on a right-hand drive turning left and you're hugging, you t I and just like everybody's, I bumped the curb numerous
I think
times.
it's a sense of overcompensation, and you're not used to. Um, I don't know how to explain.
Yeah,
We
I couldn't
drove,
figure out because I'm like, the driver's side of the car is always towards the center of the road.
right.
So I couldn't figure out, well, why am I favoring the left side so much? I couldn't.
I think it's in our head that we're on the left side, and it's something messes with us. I tell you, the thing that got me though was, well, it's that hug and cross thing. Once I
Yeah,
finally got,
I got used to that though, because I kept it. I mean, like I said, you have to remove instincts from your mind and start.
yeah,
And I was like left, tight, right, wide. I kept
yeah.
saying that in my head constantly.
Did you have a car that was an automatic? It wasn't
Yes, yes.
yeah.
So that
So
was.
when I was there, the cars we actually bought a Mini.
Oh, did you?
We bought a '67 Mini
Were you like a
station
clown?
wagon.
Were you like a clown getting?
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was a
How'd
mini
you get
station
into
wagon.
it?
It was not good. We had it for about 6 weeks, and then we sold it. But the 4 speed, if you can imagine the H configuration,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's the same. It's just
Right.
it's
It's the same
shorter.
pattern. One is all the way to the left,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
So that took a little bit because you're so used to pulling the stick shift to your leg
Right.
in first gear and second gear, but then all of a sudden
It's
you're in
no
third
you.
and fourth.
Uh,
So, I think it's just perspective and something you're used to doing. I did find the left turn took me a lot of focus because I'd either end up head on with someone.
right. I almost did that once, and
Yeah,
luckily, my passenger, as I call him, I said I need I need a navigator who's paying attention along with me up here
right,
because I'm going to be concentrating on how to drive. You need to tell me where to turn,
right.
kind of thing, and that worked really well. Um, Prior to going, I talked to someone who had just been there, and they said, "Whatever you do, get the insurance because when we got back to the rent-a-car place, the left side of all the cars are banged up." So it's the first time. So I took that advice, and thankfully I didn't need it. but I could see. I mean, the roads are so skinny in
Yeah, they're
Ireland,
narrow.
and it's usually a rock wall to your left as you're
Yeah.
going down, and a big semi or bus is coming at you, and you're just hoping you're in your lane, kind
Well,
of
and the other
thing.
thing I found too was the curbs. Like here in the States, we have a lot of that rolled concrete, poured concrete curb.
You're right.
Over there, it's a piece of granite, and
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
8 inches tall of granite, and it, like you said, it just scars up the whole side of the car versus rolling.
And it's not hard to do, and I wouldn't blame I wouldn't call anybody a bad driver for doing it. But like I said, I really had to concentrate. And by the end of the week, we ended up in Dublin, and I was driving around the city there with little to no,
Right.
great thing. I was amazed though. I pulled into a city gas station or a slightly rural gas station, so it wasn't a high priced one off the highway or near the airport. The last night, so I could fill up. I had an SUV. I don't know how many liters I put in, but it cost me in US dollars over $100 to fill that up.
Yeah.
It's insane. You can't, there's no way you can afford to drive in London. I don't know
Yeah.
why there's even cars there. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's crazy. Crazy, crazy. So what did you end up doing in Ireland? I mean, that
Well,
was
we kind of did the usual. We went to the Blarney Castle
okay.
and I kissed the Blarney Stone.
Okay.
Have you ever done that?
No, I've never been to Ireland. No.
Oh, okay. So you go to the Blarney Castle and you end up. So the Blarney Stone is at the very top of the castle. So when
Right.
you get up there, you can either skip the kissing of the Blarney Stone and make your way back down, or you can go over and kiss. So I don't know how to describe it, but basically there's a walkway at the top, and there's someone there helping you, and you have to get down on your back, and then you grab two bars behind you and you kind of shuffle your head out over the outside the confines of the tower, right? You're hanging outside the tower, and then you bend your back way back,
And then the
then you
guy raises a kilt up, and then you
yeah, yes. Then he
here you go,
teabags.
mate.
Then he
Kiss
teabags you.
away.
And that's kissing the Blarney Stone. No, and then you kind of sit up and kiss the stone, and
Yeah, that
it
sounds.
goes by so fast. It's like, yeah, all right, I kissed the
So
Blarney
is it
Stone.
like a? Is it like I don't know what it is? Is it like a keystone in that's
No,
the wall of the
it's
castle?
just there's four different. I was reading about it on the way up, of course. There's four different myths behind.
Okay, hold on a second. We've done something different, listeners. All this stuff about AI and outsourcing and all this crazy because we're trying to save some money and make some money. That's what our role is. And so we've outsourced our assistant, shall we say? Okay.
Have we?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got a deal overseas,
Oh,
but
okay.
let's see how it goes. Alexa, help us with what is the Blarney Stone?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor,
Mm.
the Blarney Stone is a famous historical stone located in Blarney Castle near Cork, Ireland. It is a well-known tourist attraction and is associated with a popular tradition that involves kissing the stone to receive the gift of gab or eloquence.
Oh, she got the first one absolutely correct.
Well, what they've said is these people
These people, nice. Let's just go right back to the
bigotry.
bigotry. Yeah.
It's Bijou. That's what it's not a bigot. I'm a Bijou.
Oh, I see. Is that like a bidet?
It's nothing like a bidet.
Well,
That's a
from
toilet
our
with a
understanding, it
spout.
is.
Well, she's informative and
Yes.
half the labor cost.
Wow, well, that's fascinating. Well, let's just hope a billboard doesn't fall on her. Too soon?
I miss that.
You didn't see that? Some like 100-foot billboard toppled over in India and crushed like 14 people.
No, I was just thinking about Joe Biden saying that if you can't go to a 7-Eleven without having an Indian guy wait on you at a 7-Eleven.
Did he say that for real? Or you just
Oh yeah,
making that up?
that one's real.
Oh, that's well, hey.
He wasn't president. He was a senator back then.
Oh, okay. Well, then it must be okay.
So I got the dog's name real quick. It was Hudson and Moose.
Oh, okay.
Moose was the field springer that was all brown, so and a long snoot.
I'm
Hudson and
curious
Moose.
if Hudson was after the bay or the car.
I don't know, but
Maybe do a little bit more research.
Yeah, next time I'll ask him about that.
So anyhow, I
Yeah.
kissed the
You
Blarney
kissed the old
Stone,
Blarney Stone, did you?
and then I did something I have not done in my lifetime until this last week, which was I played a full round of golf outside the United States.
Oh, so this is your first international round of golf.
Yes, exactly. I took part in a round of golf in Dublin at the Deer Park. I don't know, they didn't call it country club by any means, but had a castle on property and stuff. It was kind of cool looking. They had good, the prices were very reasonable, and they had rentals and kind of the whole 9 yards. And me and my son went out and played around the golf in Dublin. It was
Wow.
interesting. Yeah,
That's
it was.
cool. What's the rough like?
Well, I was going to say the reason I kind of picked this course as well, because in the pictures it was very wide open. I thought, okay, because you're limited, on how many balls you can bring with you and everything like that. I didn't, so I didn't know how much water was going to be on the course or anything like that. So very wide open fairways. The problem is if you got an inch off the fairway, you were in like this 8-inch high grass rough. There was no hitting. I mean, you could try to hit out of it, but you were getting maybe 3 feet at best to get out of this rough. So we lost 3 balls on the first 2 holes. I'm like, oh crap. Like this isn't gonna go good. But we got our swing together and got a little bit used to the clubs a little bit more, and we were able to complete the entire round. I think we were total. We found 1 or 2 along the way as well, but I think we were down 3 by the end of the day.
That's not bad. Did it rain on you?
No, we had absolutely spectacular weather. Only one morning it rained in London. The rest of the time it was sunny and mid 60s.
Chamber of Commerce weather.
Yes.
They must have known you were coming.
Yeah.
Were there any brush ups in the streets? Did you see any things going on with the Palestine or any of those stuff?
No, I don't think anybody really cares. Over there, at least not. You hang in these tourist sections when you're a tourist, and the local people and governments are smart about don't disrupt the cash cow, right? Don't. They keep crime down.
Currency.
Yeah, they're smart about it, and we didn't run into any kind of that, any of that stuff. I did find, and I don't mean to. Dublin is I was very turned off by the amount of trash lying around Dublin.
Yeah.
It was everywhere, and even when you got close to the touristy areas and stuff, because we walked everywhere there once we drove there. We were only there for a day and a half in Dublin. But we walked, and it was just trash everywhere. And I was just like, and you could tell it'd been there a while too. So you're like, what's going on? That, it's just everywhere. I don't know if they're in a strike or something. I don't know all the history
of it, but it was an industrial town. Pretty heavily industrial. But then some of our big people were there and moved. Like Apple was over there and moved out. They've had Ireland's taken it in the shorts recently from an economic standpoint. They were the darling because of the tax code.
Right. I say, isn't that what got over there because of that? Yeah.
Yeah, but then a lot of the American companies have pulled out because their tax codes changed.
Yeah.
But it was a mix. They're all the same.
But between London and Ireland, I partook of many a pub and a pints of beer. So
what was the fare that you were taking in Ireland, for example? What was the drink?
Well, come on, Guinness. You got to have a Guinness. And
do you like Guinness?
I'm not a big fan. My son is, so he's he's below
Impressionable
drinking
age.
age, but yeah, he's below drinking age, but yet he's deduced that Guinness is his favorite beer in the world. I can figure, but he was legal in London and Ireland because he's
Yeah,
19.
yeah.
So he was enjoying that. Me and him went out for a beer one night at a pub. After we got back to the Airbnb because there was one right across from Earl's Court.
Yeah.
Of course, me and him went out for a beer, so I enjoyed that. But it wasn't a very salubrious diet, let's say.
Slurious, huh?
Salubrious.
Salubrious.
Word of the week, people.
Salubrious.
Salubrious. You want to ask the new lady?
Yeah.
See if she can understand you.
Salubrious or slubrious?
Salubrious. Salubrious.
Alexa, define salubrious.
The adjective salubrious is usually defined as favorable to or promoting health, healthful.
There you go.
Healthful?
Man, 2 for 2. Yeah, healthful. Because I said my diet wasn't very salubrious.
Their education system is much better than we think.
Yeah, it's doing very well.
She's 2 for 2. She's kicking the American Alexis butt, tell you that.
And also the dude too, right? Didn't we have a dude one week?
Yeah, we fired the dude.
Yeah, he didn't last, but
He was cocky. All
got
right.
over his ski tips.
So that's fun. So you took in a few a few pints.
Oh man, did I? I probably drank 30.
Did you drink out of a straight glass or a jar?
You know what I found interesting? And at all the pubs when you ordered, I can't even think of one of the names right now. Whatever name you ordered, it came in a glass from that beer company.
With a logo on it.
Yeah, with a logo on it from that beer company. I thought, isn't that odd? No matter what I ordered, it always came. It wasn't like a standard glass in the bar. It was like they had one for each beer on tap. And then I had a couple beers from a cask. You ever have the cask beers over there where they actually have to pump it up from the?
Yeah, those are bitters and ales.
They have the same
pulling the pint.
Okay, yeah. So I had a few of those. I asked the bartender. I said, "It's a real pain in the ass to serve a drink at these." I'll stop ordering them. He goes, "Nah, it's all right.
No.
It's all right." You know what else is weird? They don't have stools at the bar. You're really just there to get your beer and go sit down at a table.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Because the night me and my son went out, I'm like, oh, we'll just sit at the bar, and then I started taking notice. We went to other ones, and they don't have seats at the bar.
Huh. It's about moving the beverages.
I guess I don't know what that is. Maybe they don't want people hanging around the bar. I don't know what one guy I saw come in stood at the bar off to the end and had a beer, but no one sat down by any means. So,
well, most of them have drank so much they probably need a place to sit before they fall over.
And we did try to go to Guinness beer, but I didn't pre-book and
go to the brewery.
Yeah, and so me and my son dropped by there on the way back from the golf course, and it was sold out for the whole day. And I'm like, whatever, it's not that important to see how beer's made at Guinness. So.
Yeah, it's stout.
Yes,
not really beer, I guess. But a friend of mine used to drink it. He says it's a cup full of vitamins. So you get
is that his reason for drinking it? Okay.
I tried it. My buddy Doug Dale, that I went over there with, he loved it. But I was a lager guy through and through, so I didn't even drink any British stuff. I drink Carlsberg, which is Danish, Denmark. And it was.
Oh, I hate Carlsberg. It's so bitter. That and Heineken.
I don't know. I drank it like it was water. Of course,
well, you didn't have much choices back then either. Until the last 15 years, it's been lagers, pilsners, or stouts. Now you have the IPA.
Bitters and ales.
What are you calling bitters?
A bitter is okay.
Because that's the little drops you put in your mixed drink.
No, that's different. Alexa, what is a bitter from British beers?
From oldtimermusic.com. Over the years, Toxic has become one of Britney Spears' most popular and recognizable songs.
I didn't ask it very.
Oh,
That's a
so
bad.
much, so much. Don't make excuses for her, David.
Well,
She's supposed to.
she's a what's her name fan.
What are bitters
Alexa,
beer?
Alexa, what are the names of British bitters beers?
From makeberryc.com. The English bitter category of beer has 3 different subcategories: ordinary bitter, best bitter, or extra special bitter.
Yeah, so ordinary, extra special. I can't remember the names of them,
I
but
didn't see any of that.
it's kind of like Black Label.
Black Label beer.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's a local brew in the sense of the United Kingdom. It's somewhere between a pilsner and because it's got a little bubbly in it. It's got a little carbonation. I don't remember how to. I drank not a lot of those. I drank some of them. Most of the time, I drank Carlsberg.
Okay.
But
I
bitters.
I saw that over there. I drank mostly. Now I totally blanking on the name of it, but I was just trying everything,
Yeah,
But
no, you gotta go where the stuff is, and I tell
yeah,
you what I like is those beer mats, those towels. You see those things? So the
Mm.
barman has these kind of like dish towels, but they're long. They're like a heavy beach towel material, but usually it's got the logo of the beer all over it. And instead of those rubber mats like you see at a bar here in the States, they have
oh, okay.
they're towels. And so got into the habit of, taking a couple of those. I have a bunch
Oh,
of them
how
somewhere.
nasty! It must have been to pick up one of
Well,
those.
but you clean them eventually, right? So then you
If
don't
he's
have
not
to.
on the way home,
No, by then you're loaded anyway. You're probably wringing it out, drinking it. Who knows? So, okay. So the gist of this trip was purely tourism to see your daughter.
Yeah, he gave us. I mean, that was the excuse to go initially, was to see Katie over there in London, and then she went with us to Ireland as well.
Oh, good.
Took a few days off from work. They get so many days off over there; it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's nice, I mean,
it is what it is.
yeah, I mean,
And she's surviving. She's got a good little job and she's making
yeah,
some money and living the life.
not much, but she's doing okay, and she's essentially supporting herself, which is, I have 2 requirements of my children, and that's to support yourself and have fun. Be happy. So as long as you can
Okay.
accomplish those 2 things, everything else is,
That's not
icing
bad.
on the cake.
It's not like that, Dad. Support
Yeah,
yourself and don't be a mooch onto me because then I won't be happy.
right.
And then you be happy.
Right. It's, you got to learn how to support yourself in this world. So,
Well, that's why eagles' nests are built so high up in the tree, right?
so predators don't get them, Dave.
No. So when they learn to fly, they push them out. They better damn sure know how to fly. It's a long way down.
I told you about the geese who made a nest in the eagle's nest. And
No.
then the chicks have to jump out and they can't fly. And one or 2 of them die every year when these geese use the nest.
How does a geese get to the eagle's nest? Fly. I guess they
I
can fly
didn't want
that
to
high.
answer that. I didn't want to answer that for you. Why don't you ask Alexa how geese get up to the nest?
Hey, Alexa, how do geese get to an eagle's nest?
At the moment, traffic to Eagle's Nest Park at 11810 Chrysanthi Boulevard looks good. The fastest route takes about 39 hours 19 minutes via I-10 and I-40. This route requires toll roads.
Okay.
Oh, well, forget it.
That's a golf course, eagle's nest.
Oh, okay.
That's funny though.
Yeah.
I wonder if she knows any good Indian recipes. What's the name of an Indian dish? Did you have any Indian food right there? I don't do Indian food.
Yeah, we
lived
did.
over a place.
There's a Chinese dish called bao, which is like a big
But
no,
Bao?
it's big, like a big round roll. I don't know what it's made of. It's
Sphincter?
BOI, I think is how it's spelled. And then they put a filling in it. And one of the ones I had was, I hear you, Dave.
Dung.
I'm just ignoring you.
I'll take the dung
A
bow.
dung bow. One of them had curry chicken in it, and it was very, very
Oh,
good.
curry
We
chicken.
also went to a play in
Where'd you go?
London. Well, whatever that theater district is.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of them. Did you go see
Piccadilly Square.
Piccadilly old circus down there, eh?
Why did we grow up thinking that
Piccadilly Circus?
is a circus? It's not.
No, it's just a roundabout.
It's just, yeah, it's a,
Well, when I was there, I saw pictures. Remember, I told you about the guy that walks around London and does a YouTube channel.
okay.
Piccadilly Circus was fenced off. That there's like a little statue there, right there in that roundabout.
Sure. I didn't know what I was.
Well, a circus
looking at.
is basically a roundabout.
Oh, okay.
Hold on,
Oh, no way.
Alexa. She's an Indian, so she'll know all about London. Alexa, why do they call Piccadilly Circus Piccadilly Circus?
From chess.com. Piccadilly Circus gets its name from the word Piccadilly, which refers to a particular type of collar made from lace worn by the area's residents in the past.
Okay, so the Piccadilly is the column. I don't know this. I'm going Boulder Dash on you. That's in the architecture, and the circus is the roundabout.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We were commenting on that as we were staying after the play. We had dinner and stuff. Went to
You're
the
looking
play.
for the big top and the
Well, we all commented on when you hear about Piccadilly Circus in school or whatever, all you can picture is a circus, and
like,
then you
where
get
are the
there.
elephants?
Yeah. Oh, she's right over there.
Did you see that billboard though in Piccadilly Circus on the side of the building?
Yes. Yeah.
Three-dimensional. It's freaky looking, isn't it?
I didn't note it as anything unusual, though, unless I was
drunk.
I mean, they seem quite regular in this day and age where billboards fill the entire side of the building.
I guess so. It's like a Times Square or something.
Right. So I looked up at it and noted it, but that was about it. I was more enthralled with the army of three-wheel bicycles over there with two seats in the back. Have you seen
Like the rickshaw thing?
Yeah, like a rickshaw, but it's a bike rickshaw. Yeah. And for some reason the norm is to totally cover it in pink shag carpet and then have an LED light system wrapped around the wheels, and there's speakers on them, and when you get on, I guess you connect your Bluetooth and you can play whatever music you want as they pedal you around the city. My family was inside the one of the gift stores. I don't know. I'm just watching about 15 of these guys sitting there waiting to give people rides around the city. So that's the speaking of it, might be one of the Alexa's brothers that was wheeling one of those around in the city, as that was the main.
Did you take a ride in the Big Eye?
I have no desire to. If one, I don't like heights.
Yeah, that's right.
We walked by it. We went to the Tower of London.
Yeah, did you see the jewels?
Yes, the crown jewels. Yes,
crazy.
Yeah, because last time we were there, we didn't go because King Philip, right?
Charles.
Is that the name? Charles.
Oh,
thank you.
The dad.
Philip was his dad. No, King Charles was about to be
ordinated. No.
Crowned.
Christened. No.
Whatever. And so all the gems and jewels had left the tower. Yeah, to go over and adorn him.
So were you there when he released his painting, his portrait?
Maybe I remember something about
you didn't
that.
Get the
I'm not a royal person. So
did you see this thing?
No.
You got to look it up.
Maybe we'll put a picture of it.
What was the movie? Ghostbusters.
Right.
And remember the evil guy in Ghostbusters, when they finally got figured out what was going on, there was this painting of this guy.
Right.
And he was like from the 12th or 13th century or something, Mulvania or whatever. but this evil guy lived in the painting. He was there, and if we didn't get this thing figured out, the Ghostbusters, they were getting all this energy together, and he was going to come back to life out of this painting. Well, kind of his portrait looks like that guy. I
I
saw
mean, was it a
something.
good portrait or not?
Well, it's just bizarre, you know.
Okay.
Someone said on Twitter, "It says, well, at least it's not a like an evil empire looking guy, you know."
Oh, yeah, yeah, like ruling the world with an iron
It's just his
fist.
head is his face is white, and the rest of it's this kind of blood curdling red. It's weird.
Just like your face just turned red.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I think I
I
just
don't
had an
know.
elevated sense of blood pressure or something.
Well, we were at the Tower of London. Uh, we were walking through and we were looking at different armor they wore. And this, I forget which century it was in. I'm sure it was I don't
Yeah,
even
no,
know.
I always get that messed
Blah,
up
blah,
once.
blah.
It's always one before the other one, but
But
yeah.
the crotch on his armor was shaped like it was over exaggerated. He was obviously compensating for something. And I said, "Oh, that's where the crown jewels are kept."
You got to protect the crown jewels.
That's right. And a guy next to me started giggling. I said, "Yeah, I got
Yeah,
that
it's
guy
like
to
the
laugh."
queen bee. You go, that's the
Yeah.
guy. We got to get after him.
And of course, he wasn't, but 5'3" tall.
Yeah,
But
but you don't underestimate the
you know why
yeah,
they stopped wearing armor?
rust,
No, I guess it became ineffective to.
bullets,
Yeah, exactly.
tanks.
So they're like, "Oh, it doesn't stop bullets. So why are we carrying around 400 pounds of
I
steel
got to
on our?"
polish all this crap. Forget about it.
Right. So that did weigh. So it was Tower London. Obviously, it's not a tower, right? I mean, there's towers in it, but none of, and there's more than one. But it was used for so many things. I had no idea. It was an armory. It was a jail. It was
They hung people.
yeah, they tortured people there. Although not that many, not as many as legend would make you think. They
I
said
think
in
that's where the
total.
traitors were, like the capital crimes
Well, yeah, it was
against the
used.
state.
Some people were there for what normal crime like stealing and stuff. It was just had different uses, and it was open till 1950 as a jail. I forget who
Well,
the last.
apparently, I learned after killing the duck that I was potentially could have been because I killed one of the queen's property, and
Right.
so I could have been sent to the tower.
Except it wasn't being used as that anymore.
Well, I would have been enlisted as a tourist attraction. Have you
Yeah,
ever
so I
been?
had my picture taken with the yeoman at the Tower of London.
Were the beef eaters there too?
Uh, we
The guys
saw
with the
some beef
collars?
eaters down at we were walking by where King Charles's bodyguards are stay, and they have two men on horses out front that pose. It's mainly a tourist thing, as you know.
You didn't do that stupid thing where these people go up to the royal guard and try to make them laugh and
No, I just walked up and pushed his hat off. I just
yeah, you've been impaled by a sword for that.
no, they can't move, Dave.
Have you been to the Mews, the Royal Mews? It's just around the corner there. It's where they keep the carriages.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty active right now with all the things going on. But we were there. It's just along the backside of the castle and the Mews, and so we got to see that big gold lame
Okay.
carriage, and it's pretty good. You know, of course, we live there, so we get to find things that most people don't think about while they're there for a couple of days. But
Makes sense.
yeah, so any guff on Kate? I know you're not a royal, but I mean, apparently
No,
she was comatose for a couple of months or something.
yeah, I was gonna go by and say hello, but we were busy,
Yeah.
so just leave her alone. She's resting.
Did you
Kind of
leave her
thing.
some cards about good gut health? Apparently, I don't know what's going on with her.
And she's got cancer, doesn't she?
What's her name? Kate?
Middleton.
Alexa, do you have an update on Kate Middleton?
Kate Middleton is still alive. She is 42 years old.
32. She's a
Wow,
fox, man.
she went into she went into great lengths. But I think she has
Still alive.
cancer. Yeah, I think she has cancer.
I
As
think
does the King Charles.
Yeah. Wouldn't that
So-
suck? I mean, not to make a funny out of this, but your dad, he's weird anyway, but your dad dies and you become king
Mhm.
and ordination, I think that's what it's called. And we go through the ordination, the course, the
Coronation.
coronation. Thank you. The coronation process, which we soak the British people for some more taxpayer dollars to pay for that nonsense. And then you wake up and your wife dies. And so
Yeah.
you're a king with a couple bratty kids and no wife. Sounds like good times.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, for
We start playing some golf or something.
bringing
I
this
don't think
all.
that guy, and that guy's got no personality either. What's his name? Bill William, I think.
William. It's William.
I was there when the kid was born, the other one,
Harry.
Harry. I got a picture of my mom and dad. There's a little. It's funny on the Buckingham Palace gate. There's like an 8.5 by 11 frame, wood frame, with the Queen's seal saying Harry was born today. And it's
Oh,
like,
really?
that's it. You can't you know,
Well, at some point they come out on the balcony with the baby. to have
toss
a
him
picture.
over. See if
Yeah,
he bounces.
See if he. Well, it's a witch thing. Make sure it's not a witch. You know.
If he springs back up, he's good.
So
If he lands in the big cake of manure down there,
depends on which would if he lands face up, he's good.
yeah, that's right.
If he lands face
Heads
down,
down,
he's a
no,
witch.
it's not good. Not good. All right. Well, I don't want to end the show yet because I know we've been going here for a while. Did you clock us in?
Yes, I did, and we only have I don't know less than 5 minutes left, and it's
Another hour?
putting. Yeah, it's putting practice night here. In
No,
the
you
Woody
no.
household.
You did that before.
No, I didn't.
You did last time we were on the show was putting practice.
No, wasn't that TV antenna?
No, you did putting because I said putty, and you went no, not silly putty, Dave. Putting.
Wow. So I'm risking doing the. Okay, well, I better tell the family we're not doing that tonight. They already got
pissed.
they already got their
I've
putters
been
out,
polishing
right?
my balls all night, Woody.
I should
You
check
got the
these
kiss of
things
Blarney
off
Stone.
better.
The least you can do is let us play with our balls. All right.
That's right. Polish our balls.
I had a funny story since we were. I don't know what the hell it was though. All
Yeah,
right,
that's hilarious, Dave.
Yeah. So school's almost out. Let's talk about that real quick.
What are you going to do with yourself this summer?
Oh, probably do some putting practice.
Well, your
least
daughter's home, right? So you get the you. Oh,
She
you don't play
is.
golf though anymore. do
No,
you?
she is, but her golf clubs. I told her to leave them at school. She's got 1 year more of eligibility. She got a COVID year of eligibility.
Right.
She's like, Dad, I'm not playing. I said, you know what? Leave your clubs up there. And
Well,
if
you
get
could
a wild
play
hair,
recreational.
yeah,
at the
you
very
could go
least.
play around a golf or go blow off some steam and hit some balls, whatever. But just leave
Yeah.
them there. You never know. You might want to play. So anyway, our school, this week we have tomorrow. The grown-up kids, the 8th graders, are going to this grad venture.
Hmm.
Oh, to your point, you said something about
Yes.
graduation ceremonies. I did see
Oh,
online.
Lord.
Our kindergartners have a big pomp and
Kindergartners?
circumstances. Yeah. I don't have those kids, but our little schools are doing kindergarten graduation. I was like, oh, Woody would love this. And then they're doing the pomp and circumstance. We don't do it in 8th grade though. So, but our kids are going away. Remember grad night? Did you ever do grad night in high school?
Oh, at Disney?
Yeah, Disney. So
Yeah.
these kids are going to Universal Studios,
Okay.
which
All Well, they're doing it in the daytime.
they're leaving at noon on
Okay.
Friday, which 2 hours down, it's 2-3 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then they won't get back till like 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
on
that's how
Saturday.
that was. We didn't get to Disney till maybe 8 o'clock at night, and then they closed the park at 2 a.m. and you had to be back in your buses by 2:30, and then back they
We
drove
lived
you.
in Orlando, so I think I remember it
okay.
like at 4 o'clock in the morning, running around in the rides or something. But
I,
anyways,
I remember me and my buddy were the last two back to the bus. They were pissed.
so we got that tomorrow. We had testing this week. on our state testing, which is a lot of fun. So next week we have a full week. I think there's something coming up there for some reason. And then the final week we're going to take Memorial Day. Can you say Memorial Day?
You just did.
Oh no, you say it.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day. I have to get it out, but anyway,
That's an old Three Stooges joke.
Is it?
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah. So we're gonna have Memorial Day off on Monday. Then we have these half days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think those are finals, like finals.
You're not going to give them finals.
I don't give a final. I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
I'm in stretch mode. I got one of my 2 classes that we're gonna pretty much finish by Wednesday of next week. So we'll have a little chance to kind of tweak some things, but we'll be done by Wednesday next week. So then the kids leave on Thursday, and then we have a teacher planning day on Friday. We have to come back, which is
What are you planning for? Your summer?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna clean out my desk or something. But
Yeah.
they give
Do you
us
get
these
the same? Do you get the same room year after year
Yeah, my room's slightly unique
because of the computers?
the equipment.
All right.
I couldn't do what I do in a portable. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. I feel very blessed that they made me an offer to come back. I signed it quickly before they changed their mind.
Until they found out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know that. And then so yeah, as far as I know, Lord willing, I'm coming back next year to teach. I've had some kids come up to me this week. I kind of taken aback. You know, they're like, Mr. Theus, I just want to tell you how much you've meant to me this past. One kid had me last year for classes and this year. And he says, I got to tell you, you're like my favorite teacher, and I'm going to miss you so much. And I was like,
these the guys who need to go from like a D to a C?
Can you help a brother out? Get the hell out of here. That's not going to work in this.
they're freaking out. Hey, Mr. Theus, awesome.
Yeah, I can see right through that nonsense. No, it was pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm making an impact or we're just doing
Yeah,
things.
there's a few teachers I still remember to this day, and they're the ones who challenge you, but fairly.
Well, they said, and these were separate and apart from each other, different classes. The consistent message is you care, and I'm like, what do you mean I care?
Do
Because I
you?
yell at you guys? And he goes, well, yeah,
Get the hell out of here.
Part of that's the deal. And I said, I'm not looking for accolades, but help me understand, what is it I'm doing that you think is right? And he says, well, it's just the way you talk to us. You talk to us real. And sometimes you fuss at us, but it's not bad fussing. It's because you care.
Right.
And I'm like, well, oddly enough, I do care. So
as far as you know, I care about a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, when the check stops clearing, the caring stops.
The attitude's going to change real quick.
It's going to get drastically different. No, it's all good. So I'm enjoying myself.
Do they get sarcasm?
I can't do it.
Really?
You get lucky and the smart kids, the really smart kids get it. But you got to be careful at this age.
Right.
If you think about it,
I live and die by sarcasm.
Yeah,
so.
but you know what? This is funny. When I was in London, there was this gal. She went to Reading University in England.
Okay. Not Pennsylvania.
No, Reading University, the real Reading. And she was an English major. I can't remember her name. Man, you talk about a knockout. Gosh, she was gorgeous. And I'm thinking of making time with her. I'm the American guy with the American accent. I got it going on. And I said something to her really sarcastic, and she slapped me. I mean, she slapped me right across the face and said, sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. Really? And I think my return was, so I guess you and I going out on a date's out of the question.
Really?
Oh, she slapped the crap out of me.
Part of that was it dirty?
No, I don't think it was base and foul.
Right.
I was just twisted sarcasm to her.
Okay.
And
I would not have survived well myself then.
Oh, she did not like it, and that was no chanceville after that.
Huh.
But the problem with sarcasm, here's what I've learned, and I consider myself to be somewhat of a aficionado as well. It's really not constructive. You're really making fun of the other person. If you break it down, The sarcastic comment you're saying is you're too stupid to figure it out. So,
That's yeah. Usually mine's self-deprecating, but
well, it sounds like it is, but analyze the next time you whip one
sure,
out.
Dave.
Yeah, see, you're saying you're a dumbass. So no, I don't do the junior high kids can't, and it's even in the manual. I think that
Oh, really?
yeah, that's not really appropriate. So
I wouldn't
don't do it.
survive.
And I
10
didn't really do it
minutes.
at the high school level either. I tried it on the teachers though, and a lot of those
Yeah.
guys they don't get it either. So
Well, some people take. You ever see someone that can't give sarcasm? They try to, and they're just awful. Yeah, I mean they're just vindictive in their statements.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
whoa,
it gets
slow
really-
down.
because they don't.
Your
they
mother's a
don't-
whore. Ah! It's like what?
just
No, that's not sarcasm.
Well, first of all, if the truth hurts. That's the bad part.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so sometimes that when I'm dishing it out, someone will try to get on board with it. I'm like, oh, forget it.
Yeah,
It
you
is-
let the pros handle this, will you, please? Alexa, is sarcasm the lowest form of wit?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Sargy. What'd she say?
Sorry. Come on, Dave.
Alexa, what is your given name?
My name is Alexa, and I'm here to say I'm the baddest AI in the cloud today. Your responses are fast, but my answers are faster. Sucker AIs, they call me the master.
Alexa, stop.
That's enough of that.
I think this is the sarcasm thing in which she's trying to put it on. She's not very good at it.
Tell her to tell us a sarcastic joke,
Oh, God.
and then we got to go.
Alexa, can you tell us a sarcastic joke?
I don't have a joke about that.
Okay, hold on. Alexa, can you tell us a joke?
What does a subatomic duck say? Quack.
A what duck?
Saboteur?
Alexa, do you have a favorite Indian recipe?
Yeah.
Okay, for Indian, I recommend mango lassi from Kitchen Stories. 10 minutes to make. What would you like? Start recipe, save recipe, send to phone, or hear next recipe?
Here, next recipe.
No, I don't want to hear it. Alexa, be
Next is
quiet.
Punjabi Bagan Bharta from Side Chef. 35 minutes to make.
All right, we've had enough.
Start recipe.
Alexa, stop.
Just reference one of your books on the shelf.
Hold
Hey,
on, I got
before I
one last.
forget-
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. You gotta hear it. Alexa, do you live in a council flat?
I don't know that.
What? What is so funny about a council flat?
So the
I'm laughing because you're laughing. I have no
so the
idea.
joke, if anyone's from London, they'll know what I'm talking about. So the joke was, okay, we've gone off the rails. Who cares? But so the Indians have the dot on their head,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Well, the British humor is horrible. Talk
Right.
about sarcasm. It's
No, they're
horrific.
dry.
Well, but
very
it's
dry.
horrific. And so the joke was, a council flat is like government housing.
Right.
You,
Okay.
you can't get it unless you have a low income.
Right.
So this is prior to all the immigrants that are there now, but the Indian was under the empire, and so after a
Mhm.
certain period of time,
The Raj.
they allowed the Indians to come to the UK, and so they came, lots of them,
Mhm.
and so the Brits didn't like them, and so.
No one likes strangers.
Well, that's true. And so they were always trying to get a council flat because they were
Ah.
moving in.
Yeah.
And so the joke was that the Brits were, no, you can't have a council flat. And that's how they got the thing on their head.
Oh, I see.
No, you can't have a council flat.
For those listening, Dave's poking the lens
Yeah.
camera at this
All
point.
right,
in
that's
time.
really off color. But
Yeah, we're gonna let's leave on
let's
that.
leave
high
them on a
note.
high note.
Right. But hey, before we forget, subscribe over there. And I'll put the email address down below if you're concerned, have questions, want to tell Dave to shut up, stop telling bigot jokes. Emails there.
Bijou.
Or hit us
Bijou.
up on the Twitter platform, the Twitter sphere up top. If you're watching on YouTube, all that's on the screen. And that I just said, I should have been saying it out loud. I just realized that. So
We've been gone a
hopefully,
week.
hopefully you're watching it on YouTube. If not, Twitter
Suck it.
is Dave and Woody Pod.
It'll be on
And
the screen.
yeah,
And
And,
Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
there you go.
Check us out.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and we're glad to be back. I was looking forward to this. I'm glad to be back.
All right, good.
All right, I'm Dave,
What? And I'm Woody.
and you've been listening to a welcome back episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody. And good to see you. What? Yes. See you later.